Hey guys, Nick and Danny here, and we're bringing to you guys the Fuel Hunt Technique series. And in this series, we're going to be talking about open guard retention. So what is open guard? So for this series, we're going to be looking at the supine guard, and we need to understand the reason we're on our back, the reason we're supine is because if I were to be seated, I am no longer able to use my feet as frames. So we want to be able to defend from a position where we have the most frames. So that's why we're going to be supine here. Now, the other thing is I need to make sure that I'm protecting the line of my feet. So way too often do I see people play supine with their hands back here. Now my opponent can make connections to my ankle without me being able to hand fight or intercept those grips or attack grips of my own. So when I pull my knees back to my chest and I have my hand in the inside space like so, as Danny looks to connect to my ankles, I'm able to intercept and start connecting positions of my own. And this is also going to allow me to maybe stop the limbs from coming forward. So if he drives forward with the knee cut, I can intercept with my hands as well. So that's the first thing, making sure you're on your back and making sure that your knees are tight to your chest and your hands are defending the line of your feet, very much like you would from seated guard, protecting your feet. So I'm here, protecting my feet, and the other thing I want to focus on is staggering my legs. If I keep my feet in the same line like so, it's easy for my opponent to connect to both ankles the same way, applying the same amount of force on both. But if I stagger my legs, it's very difficult for him to grab my ankles at the same time and to apply equal pressure to both. So this staggering effect allows me to pummel as he makes connection, either pummeling the top leg or pummeling my bottom leg. Whenever we're able to pummel our feet, we're essentially neutralizing the grips. He is no longer able to pass as soon as my pinkies make contact with the top of his wrist. So if your feet are below the wrist, there's nothing stopping him from circling. If I get my pinkies on top, now I can keep them in front of me as he circles. So it's really important that we understand I'm in supine, I'm defending my feet with my hands, I'm staggering my legs so he's unable to connect to both ankles at the same time, allowing me to pummel, and from there we can start looking to attack. Later on in this series, we're going to be looking at situations where maybe he starts flanking around my legs. How can I use hooks and frames to defend against the passes from there?
It's really important as well to understand the weight distribution of the hands. So if I start pressing on one side really hard, he's going to pummel the other side and vice versa. So the other thing we can talk about too is this pass box space here that we have for the knee and elbow space. We call it the pass box. So this zone, right? If my opponent closes that space like so, I can't pass into that space. So it's going to be incredibly difficult for me to finish or stabilize any pass if I can't open this space on the bottom or on the top. So this is another thing that we're always going to be coming back to, keeping the pass box closed. And one last thing, the danger zone, the space in between the ankles. As long as I'm in that space, I'm in danger. And if I'm outside of that space, now my opponent is in danger. So that's the gist of it, and we're always going to be revisiting these facts. So look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.